Okay, let me go through today's lesson. What I would like you to do is break up into pairs, groups of two, and you're going to have to go through the slides yourself because this really is an interactive presentation. So in the middle of this, I'm going to pause it and just let you go through the slides. Okay, well, let's take a look at this. Okay, take a look at these lists of numbers. What do you think these represent? You pause the video and just talk about it for a second. What do you think they represent? Okay, maybe you came to the conclusion that these are all holidays. January 1st, February 14th, 4th of July, Halloween. You can see our numbers can represent all kinds of things. So today we're going to have our binary representing text, or just trying to see how we can represent text. And eventually we'll bring that into our binary system. Okay, so this is the part where you have to pause the video and you just have to run through these slides with your partner. Each of you take turns guessing, and one person writes the message, tries to represent it with some system that you come up with, and then the other person guesses, uh, and then go back and forth. Okay, so let's do the first one together. Okay, so you see these? How could we use only numbers to communicate uh, these with our partner? So let's just make a simple system where the letter A is number one, the letter B is number two, the letter C is number three, and on and on and on. So to represent the word HEY, I would have three numbers. Have something like 8, 5, and then 25. 8, 5, 25 would represent hey. So I could use that same system to communicate the other numbers. I just won't take the time to do it right now. Okay. So using only numbers, come up with a system, write down some rules for your system, and see if you can use those rules and system to represent the text that follows. Okay. So one partner, put your head down. One partner is going to see a message and then they're going to write it in code with the numbers. And then the partner will get to guess, partner A will get to guess and see if they can get it correct. Okay. All right. So partner A, heads down, partner B, go ahead and represent this. If you don't have sticky notes, just use scratch paper or something, but write down the message. No letters. Can you represent that with numbers? So in the previous system that we're using, we could represent that. Okay, so now partner A sees the numbers, translates the message. How well did you do? Is that what you got? Okay, here's a question. How did you represent the space? Because you shouldn't be able to represent a space with a space. You need to use a number for the space. Okay, so update your system if you need. How are you going to represent spaces? Is there anything else you want to add to your system? Okay, and we'll go to the next one. Okay, this time it's partner B's turn. Head down, partner A, represent this number, I'm sorry, represent this message with numbers, and pause the video if you need some more time and restart. Okay, is this what you got? Okay, a couple of questions here. How did you represent the capital G? And how did you represent the exclamation point? Okay, so if you need to update your system, go ahead and update your system. If you need to write out all the letters and their corresponding numbers, you can do that. Okay, so once you've updated your system, you pause the video here, do any kind of updates, and when you're ready, move on to the next section. Okay, here's the next challenge. Partner A, heads down. Partner B, represent this. Pause it if you need more time. Okay, by now you should be getting pretty good at this. Okay, partner A, did you get it? Okay, was anything missing? How did you represent the number? Did you also have a question mark in your system? Okay, so update your system. Is there anything you want to add? Okay, and we'll continue going. Okay, it's the last challenge, so see if you can do it. Okay, here's the message. Okay, right, guess. Pause the video if you need. Is that the message you got? I think we've seen most of those characters and letters, or at least those kind of things. So hopefully your system was robust enough to represent this. Okay, so talk with other groups around you. Compare your systems. Were they similar? Were they different? How? Right? And if you want to think about what is the minimum number of bits you would need for each character to represent. So how would you do that? Convert your largest number in the system into binary. How many bits would that require? Okay, so just so we don't reinvent the wheel, we already have a system that translates numbers or bits into characters, and that is called ASCII, the American Standard Code for Information Exchange. Okay, so you'll see AP test questions where they'll give you some bits and you have to tell what letter it is. So how do you tell what letter a bit is? Well, you take the bits, you convert it into a number, and you match the number with the letter, and then you have your answer. Okay, you'll see maybe some sample test questions like that I'll give you later. Okay, just to wrap up, what we're trying to do today, represent text, right? What details from the last few lessons maybe are kind of fuzzy, maybe you don't quite get, let me know. I'll see if I can explain them, especially when I come back. Okay, so one concept we've talked about today is abstraction, is representing something in another form. Okay, we don't think about the bits, we don't even think about the ASCII, we just see the text. So all of the complexity is abstracted away. We don't have to know it. You don't have to know how a car actually works in order to drive it. You just step on the gas and it goes. Okay, that's abstraction. Can you think of another example of an abstraction? I gave you driving a car. Can you think of something else?